What is up guys? Still using the iPad as a display screen, as you can see, because I've just figured out my laptop has been bugged with a shit ton of viruses, and I'm not going to bother to buy a new one because this is 2018 and who really uses laptops anymore? Apart from using Microsoft Office, that's the only thing that's really used for. So everything now is just smartphones and tablets. So, but enough of that. I think I'm just going to use the iPad permanently now. So, if you already watch my channel, you know that I don't really care too much about production. I'm just very basic. I just want to put my message out there, and that's it. I don't care about being glim glam and flashy and having the best camera and the best audio and all that sort of stuff. I care more for you to actually listen to my opinion and to be able to learn from it. Or oppose it. I don't mind you opposing my opinion either, but listening to the rationality of discourse, of debate, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, enough of this rambling. And plus, ignore me, you're going to see my finger a lot because the iPad dies quicker than the laptop. It goes to sleep quicker, so I'm going to have to keep tapping it on and off like that repeatedly through the video so it doesn't go to sleep or power off. So, today we are going to be talking about victim mentality and why I think victim mentality is an extremely dangerous mentality to have. And obviously I've never understood the appealability of victim mentality. Like, if you watch Candace Owens videos, even though I don't support her, but she explains this to a lot of black youth, because as you know, victim mentality is very rife within women and within minorities, so that's the reason I mentioned Candace Owens. So I don't understand it. Why do people feel good about being a victim? Why do they feel good about being oppressed? Why is this? You think people want to feel superior, you think they want to feel better than others, but we're now living in an age where it's cool to be the victim. And you may think that's weird, but I'm going to explain why this is happening. Because the reason victim mentality is becoming so popular and so appealable when you think people want to live above others, instead dwell on their own sympathy, is because it means you can blame everything on everyone but yourself. It gives you an excuse to hate. It gives you an excuse to blame everyone for your own individual faults apart from yourself. And that's why people like doing it. And everyone does it. The alt-right does it. They blame immigrants. Oh, my immigrants. And the left, oh, they take away my free speech. It's not just a leftist issue. And the left do with, oh, straight white male patriarchy and all that sort of garbage. Everyone's doing it. And that's because victim mentality motivates people, you know, it gives people, when people feel that they're being robbed and they're being scammed and they're being cheated, it gives them that motivation to win. It gives them that motivation to go for it. You know, the underdog story when in boxing, you know, you have the underdog fighting the heavyweight belt. He's in the gym, he's training, he's hitting a heavy bag every day because he's motivated, he's determined. And being a victim actually gives people determination, as weird as it sounds, but that's the psychology behind it, and that's why it's interesting. So that's why people have this victim mentality, because it gives them this motivation, it gives them this energy of hatred, and it's very dangerous. And And the reason victim mentality does work, it does get you places, because like I said, when you believe you're being robbed, cheated and screwed, you're gonna get up and you're gonna fight. But if you're already at the top and you already feel superior, and you just dwell on your own superior ego, no shit's ever gonna get done. And that's the reason Trump won, because hey, even Trump used victim mentality. He used, oh, we lose out in China, we lose out in NATO, we get screwed by the EU, we have to protect Japan, we have to protect Saudi Arabia. What about our own infrastructure? What about us? Oh, those Mexicans and NAFTA. And he was using this as sort of victim mentality, that America's been screwed, America's been cheated by the rest of the world, America's been manipulated and tricked, and it's time to get up and take action, you know? So even the right wing do it as well as the left wing, but because it's more profound in the left wing, that's why I used a crying feminist in the picture. So that's why people use victim mentality. However, victim mentality only works when people can be manipulated, tricked and guilted. Because if you try to use victim mentality on an unsympathetic populace, then you just look like some crying, whining, whinging loser who's just sitting in the corner feeling sorry for himself, not getting shit done. So yeah, and with danger mentality, like the social order, people applaud it because, like I said, people like things that are revolutionary. So people love to punch up. People think it's poetic justice to punch up. But stomping down makes you a bully. So that's why I think victim mentality is more appealable, or it looks more good, because once again, everyone loves an underdog story, and everyone loves somebody who seems to be the superior one falling down a few pegs or two, whether it's the leftist establishment or if it's the white male, straight white male Christian patriarchy, if you know what I'm saying. And obviously, this power and this energy of we're being screwed, tricked and manipulated and it's time to take action is what caused the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia to take out the Christian Tsar Kingdom and to put Stalin in power to install the Soviet Union in Russia. And the reason is because everyone, it doesn't matter your race, your religion, your culture, this type of mentality just exists within human nature. Just exists within human nature, and as long as classism exists, victim mentality will exist, and people will always want to bring destruction to the system that they think is oppressing them. So it's always going to be there. We're always going to have to deal with it. Communism is always going to be a global, international threat. And it's not as big as a threat as it once was. When the idea was first introduced by Karl Marx back in the 1880s, when he wrote the book The Communist Manifesto, which gained popularity during the 1940s, the World War II era, in which caused the Russian Revolution during World War I, causing it to become the Soviet Union in World War II to battle Nazi Germany. So, or fascist Germany, or whatever you want to call it. And obviously, once Germany was defeated, communism got hold of nuclear weapons from the Americans, and we had the threat of global nuclear annihilation, because to them, the American imperialist capitalists were screwing over the world and all that sort of shit. And, you know, the thing that happened in Cuba and the Berlin Wall falling down and communism eventually collapsing along with it as a superpower. But the idea still exists. You still get communist countries, like in North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, Although the Korea situation is cooling down now, and it's spreading all across the United States and into Western Europe. So this isn't just a third world problem. Even privileged white folks think they're oppressed, and that's, like I just said, first world, it's just human nature that people see a social structure and they want to destroy it because they see themselves at the bottom of it. And also there's money to be made, rich people, they feel guilty that they're rich. Like white people, they feel guilty that they're rich, and like all these charities and stuff, they feel guilty that they're rich, and so there's money to be made. Like you just say, I'm a single mother, or what's it called, give me free council housing, and just so I could continue to reproduce and have a bunch of taxpayers fund my irresponsible sexuality and all that. So that's why people also like it, because of the finances, economics, money to be made from it. Obviously, activist groups like Black Lives Matter get shit tons of money from George Soros and all that sort of thing. So not only is that psychology just in human nature, but people have realised that they can cash out on it as well. Because, they just trick, guilt and manipulate the rich people. The rich ones that do give a fuck, not like the ones that are just dwelling their own superiority. I'm meaning the ones like the middle class, or like that know what it's like to be poor because they were poor when they were once young, but now that they're middle-aged and they've built up accumulated wealth and they've accumulated resources. But the difference is, and they feel guilty because other people don't have those opportunities, but the difference is he worked hard for it while the other people are trying to take it away from other people, because that's what communism is, theft. And victim mentality is the ideology which fuels that theft. So, yeah, anyways, that's just my thoughts on victim mentality. And if you're watching this, then I should hope that you should have more of a victor mentality. So, anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.